Ain't say nothing.
Good evening. Welcome to WMSK Online Radio. This is your Ebony Queen Neeuq coming at you live every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Make sure you're downloading the app, following us on all social media outlets at Open Wide Radio Show. You can even check the show out on WMSK's YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribing and check us out. So tonight we're going to have a pretty hot topic. We're going to be continuing what we talked about last week. Last week we were talking about why do women stay with men if they can't make them come. This week we're going to talk about why we stay in these tumultuous relationships anyway. If they're toxic, if they're bad, why are we so inclined to stay in these relationships? So make sure you're staying tuned. We're going to get into it in a little bit. But we have some little housekeeping rules and things that we want to talk about first. So make sure you're checking out Focus Movers. It's an affordable moving service with fast and reliable service, free moving quotes, commercial and residential, long distance and local. They're last second and emergency moves. They're locally owned and operated, and they have a 24-hour call center. Make sure you call today at 443-506-7905 or book online at focus-movers.com. State versus Us magazine is your official source to the streets from prison, highlighting high-profile cases, corruption in the police department, government, the prison system, wrongful convictions, and success stories of the formerly incarcerated. If you or someone you know have a story to tell, want to feature or add space, please email statevsurmag@gmail.com and get your print or digital copy today at statevsurmag.com. www.msk, you okay? WMSKOnlineradio.com is looking for jazz, gospel, entertainment, fashion, Latin, Caribbean, community, and other type of shows. If you or someone you know are interested, please send us an email to WMSKOnlineradio@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. We are the leader in talk radio. So make sure you're visiting www.WMSKOnlineradio.com and join our mailing list for updates, events, shows, and more. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WMSK Online Radio. Wesley Hawkins is in the building, y'all.
Good evening, good people. Hope you all are doing well out there. If you're not, I'd like to open up with stay strong, stay focused, stay consistent, and believe in yourself. Because even though things might not be going well right now, things will get better. But you got to put some work in. The Wesley Hawkins for the No Leader Project, which is an organization here in Baltimore that helps kids in underprivileged communities. Also help middle-aged adults and just uplift and motivate in the community in so many different ways. If you'd like to be a volunteer, get involved in some schools and some communities and give away anything from food to clothing, things like that, you can reach us at www.noleaderproject.org. You can email us at the No Leader Project inc@gmail.com, or you can just look me up. It's Wesley Hawkins. I come up, I'm available. Let's reach, let's connect, let's build, and let's do the things that we need to do to motivate, inspire, and uplift our communities. But right now, we all for that. We're going to get into these juicy news. What's the topic, Nick?
All right, like I said, we are going to be talking about why we stay in toxic relationships. I think it's an important topic to talk about because people are often ridiculed for making that decision to stay. We're not going to get into specific things like, what's up, Miss Clarinet? How are you? We're not going to get into specific things like domestic violence and stuff like that, because those things can get way too specific. So we're going to talk about, in general, why people stay in toxic relationships. That's what I want to talk about. So I was reading an article. I love Psychology Today. Only because they use real research when they write these articles. So, Clarinet, you're right. One of the reasons people stay is because they love one another. So that's one of the reasons listed. So this article is from 2017 and is entitled 6 Reasons Why We Stay in Bad Relationships. Once we realize our relationships are unsatisfying, why do we maintain them? So one of the reasons, just like Ms. Clarinet said, is love. So that's number 6 on the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably wouldn't be like number 1, number 2. That's not. I would think money. Money would be probably 1 or 2. Financial obligations.
Okay.
Not wanting to start over. I talk to a lot of people that once they have been into something for such a long time, they don't want to go through that start over process. They don't want to get to know somebody or let somebody get to know them all over. They're scared of the different or the new, and they don't want to let go. Comfortability. People in situations that they become comfortable with. Like, I'm not moving on. I'm comfortable with what I have already.
Right. So that's number 5, investment.
Okay.
So Steve is saying she stayed in a relationship because she loved her and they were married and she felt like she owed her that much. I mean, that's fair.
Right.
You love her, but you owe her. Steve, clear that up for me. Like you owe her what? She said she was used to it and didn't want to start over. So
right. So that's what I just said.
Yeah, so that's what Wesley said. So you were comfortable with the situation, you were willing to stay. So then what was the alternate, like why, what changed that you decided to leave? So Sean is saying that was what I was thinking. I would rather try to work it out instead of starting over. Clarinet said people don't want to be alone, so they settle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let's start with number 5, which is investment, because number 6, which is love, we're going to get into that a little bit deeper. So, okay, so Steve finally left because the chick was saying she wasn't gay and she was her first. So that's understandable. She was just probably like infatuated, maybe. So anyway, so investments. So one of the things that, and this research is old, from 1965. Then they had a more recent one saying in 2015 that investing a lot of time in a relationship or sharing investments such as home and children make couples more likely to stay together. In 2016, when people have already invested a lot of time, effort, and resources in a relationship, many of us continue that investment even when it may not be the best for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like that cheaper the keeper kind of mentality. And in the meantime, we are beating ourselves up and dying mentally for the investment. So we just don't like to cut losses.
But it's again, like once you put that time in, a lot goes into that. A lot of people, I used to think that was just something that females did. Nah, men be on that too. Like I spoke to, a brother, he like 52. And he was like, he really disliked how his woman talked to him. So it's like one of those things like, they got like a house and all that stuff, and family or whatever together. But he always like, a couple days out of the month, he might like leave or go be with his mom. And I was talking to him one day, like, why you always leaving? Why you get at your mama's house sometimes? And he like, I can't stand how my woman talked to. So my thing was, how long you been with her? Told me how long. So I'm like, well, is this something new or this been going on? And he was like, it kind of got worse over time. I'm like, why you ain't leaving? He like, young brother, I'm 51 going on 52. I'm not about to get out here and start all over. I done already been with this woman for 10 years. I'm not about to go back to the market and start over at 51. And I'm looking at it like, in my mind, like, 51 not even that old. But at the same time, I understood where he was coming from. Like, he got 10 years invested with this woman and with this family and with this house and situation. But he's literally saying she talked to him so bad, he can't stay there some nights. I don't want to be in nothing like that.
So ain't that gonna make you more angry if you stayed out? I mean, isn't he making his problem worse?
Um,
Saying,
for him,
I'm a fuss.
For him, it's kind of probably
I'm gonna be.
She gonna fuss, but for him, it's like he need that mental break sometimes. I guess. Like I know the woman. She's like one of them argumentative, nagging, going ham type women. And it's like, how do you deal with that? He's like, he tried to go to therapy. He thought church would work. He thought working out would work. He like, yo, that's just. And I'm like, wow, like you really going to the grave with that though? Could you do that? Coming home after you get off of work, long hours at work, coming home with this big argument almost every day.
Nope, I ain't gonna be able to do it. So Clarinette is saying, why be unhappy if there are kids involved? They feel the misery, and it's not healthy for all parties involved, which I agree. So Steve, let's clear up what Steve was trying to say. So basically was saying, no, I was saying I stayed because I was her first, and I felt like I owed her that much to fight for the marriage, even though I knew it was toxic.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's very fair. That's very fair. But even in fairness, time is probably the winner. Because how long are you going to continue to be fair? So Quaisha is saying most of us put our wants over our needs. We always want the bag of candy instead of the plate of vegetables, despite knowing the veggies are better for us. I agree. So when making relationship decisions, we often rely on emotions rather than rational deliberation. So emotions like you so sexy, like if I had the opportunity to get you on key. Mm-hmm. Emotions like, knowing that these, hey love, hey real, check out Real the Comedian, y'all. Real, last name the Comedian. Check her out, follow her, and hear what she gotta say. So that's good. So investment is one of them. And and I can attest to this. I've been in a relationship for a really long time. Children, investments, houses, all that kind of stuff, that really does make you think twice about leaving. So I agree. And we talked about single family, single parent households. So we'll talk about that. But I want to get some kids in here to help us out a little bit.
I had another woman I spoke to, and she was basically in an unhappy relationship, but she was there for a long time as well. And she expressed to me that she won't be able to live the lifestyle that she lived on her own. So to her,
realistic thing.
To her, it was more so the lifestyle, what she could drive, the house she could live in, the things she could wear, and stuff like that. But the relationship itself wasn't happy. But the lifestyle that he provided.
The next man can't give you that?
I mean, it's different levels of men. Some men might provide a more of a humble lifestyle. So the lifestyle that this man was providing for her was pretty lavish.
So she married for money, not love.
Basically. I mean, I don't know. I think she said starting out, she loved him or whatever, or she thought he loved her. But as time went on, it seemed like for him, she was just a trophy. And he just wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. And, I'm asking, like, well, why are you there? And then her response was basically like, I can't, the lifestyle he provided, I can't do this by myself.
So Clarinette is saying, I agree as well, but when I stayed, it affected my health and my hair was falling out. I was miserable, and I say, get out. I'm in another Facebook group, and we were supposed to be, so a lot of people talk about their relationships in this group. So one person said, well, when are we going to talk about the topic at hand? The whole reason why we're in this group. And people start going in on her because she wasn't really understanding why they were turning this into like a relationship group. Should I stay? Should I go? Or, what she couldn't really conceive how these relationship problems had anything to do with the purpose of the group. So they was going in. So why do you think people share with their family and friends what's going on in these relationships?
I mean, sometimes your family is the closest people that you can vent to. So when you're trying to vent to your family members, that can be a good thing, but sometimes it can be a bad thing because when you telling your family and friends everything, now your family and friends is looking at that person a certain way.
Also judging them.
And judging them, and then now you might want to go back with them. You might want to still be with them. You might don't want to leave. But your family now looking at you like, you dumb. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people got their own way and their view of how they look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, sometimes venting to your family can and your friends can go sour, but sometimes they can be that strength as well that you need to get through. So it's 50-50 to me with it. I know sometimes people say they keep their family out of their business because family, is going to make it worse. But sometimes I think you need your family to know what's going on to help you move on and get out of that situation. Because if you hiding everything from your loved ones and they don't know what you're going through, then they don't know what type of help or love or support you need to encourage you to move on.
Mm-hmm. Very good point made, but we want to save that and table it until a little bit later. Hey, Ms. Young. So, real. Huh?
Split screen. You can get all the fun.
Hold on, y'all. You can't go live with me right now. That's what it says.
Alright, good.
So, the number one reason on here says we can be satisfied with unsatisfactory relationships. For those who are just joining us, we are talking about why people stay in toxic relationships. If it's bad, why are we staying? Listen, y'all, I'm not going to be trying to turn the screen and all that kind of stuff, because when I was trying to do it last time, the screen went out and we had two separate videos, so we don't want to do that. So y'all just going to have to look at me. Y'all can see Wesley later. Y'all know. So,
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to hit the request.
You on there? I approved it. Now you're in the middle, little, but I don't know where it's going.
I'm on there?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
All right, so the number one reason why we stay in bad relationships, according to this article in Psychology Today, written in 2017, you want to look it up, is by Madeline, Madeleineea Fugere, Fugere, PhD. And it's called 6 Reasons Why We Stay in Bad Relationships. So, number one reason, we can be satisfied with unsatisfactory relationships. So, this was a study that was done in 2011, and they were talking about exploring why they initiate bad relationships anyway. So, some individuals, those with low self-esteem or those who perceive themselves to be less attractive, have low comparison levels. And that was done in 1986, and then they revisited it in 2008 and 2017. So Real was saying people don't know their worth. Sometimes people just really don't know their worth, or they perceive themselves as ugly. They don't have high enough self-esteem. But let me tell you, vagina does not have a face.
Yeah, but as far as relationships, I think something about some people function better in dysfunction, if that makes more sense. Mm-hmm. Some people are literally comfortable in dysfunctional situations. Like, I know some people that something that seems like it's too good to be true or it's going too well, they don't believe it. They don't trust it. They don't want it. And then I know some people who, as much as the situation is dysfunctional, they function very well in that. And then you have some people that they have a high, level of low self-esteem. That makes sense. They have a high level of low self-esteem. So it can be the most handsome or beautiful woman or man, but when they look at themselves, they don't think they are that attractive. So when I've met women that felt like they couldn't get another man. I know some women that their men make them feel like, oh, you'll never get another man like me. You can never do better than me. You'll never do this. I've met and spoken to people who allow themselves to be put down to the point where in their mind, they really don't feel like they can do better.
That's on the list, actually.
Oh, I didn't know, but I've met people who feel like they can't do better. Like the partner you with, they make you feel like, oh, you'll never find nothing better than me. It's women out there that'll tell you that you'll never get a bitch like, well, woman, I don't, excuse my French, I don't call you that. But it's women that'll tell you, like, you'll never get another woman like me. Oh, she can't cook like me, or her body, that's why, somebody, y'all always put the comments like, marriage make you fat. And I always be like, marriage won't make me fat. If you with somebody that's gonna make you fat, I'm good.
Science proves that.
But people say that, like, when you get married, you get fat. I'm good. If getting married equals to getting fat, I'm good. Like, I don't want to not look handsome no more. I don't want to not be in shape.
To me, nice and round.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, my woman got to be able to get it popping together. Let's do this together, not like, we apart with it. But I figured that would be on that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be too much feedback.
I try to mute it. Go ahead.
So that's the first thing. So comparison levels can be thought of as your standards or what you expect to receive from the relationship. So if your standards are high and my standards are low and I'm just going to accept anything, does that make us a mismatch?
You said what?
Your comparison level can be thought of as your standards or what you expect to receive from a relationship. So if your standards are high and mine are low, would you consider us a mismatch?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that kind of could balance out a little bit.
Really?
But I would think it might be, because sometimes, I would say on a regular, that probably would be a mismatch. But sometimes that could be a balance out, because some men might have really low wants and needs. Like, it don't take a lot for him to be happy. The smallest amount of energy and effort can make him happy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that woman might have extremely high needs and wants. And he might be the man that comes through and do almost any and everything for her. But she don't do that much for him. Like, it's relationships out here like that. Whereas though the man or the woman.
But are your needs and wants your standards?
It can be. A part of my standards is certain things that I want and need my woman to do. That's a part of my standards. Like, it's certain things I need and want my woman to do. That's my standard level in a woman.
Okay.
So if she's not ready to, do certain things that I'm into, then
your standards are high. Your standards.
But that's cool for me.
Right. So if my standards are low, yours are super duper high. Super dumb high.
And I feel like people whose standards are super dumb low. I feel like people out here accepting any and everything.
Okay, so let's say I have low standards. You think we would balance out?
Not me, but somebody else may be.
Right. So in the situation in which one person's standards are really high and one person's are really low, Ms. Young said keep them high. That's right. He better keep them high.
Yeah, my standards high. All right. I don't know if this connect with it, but I know a woman that sexually, she want the man to do everything to her, but she don't really want to do much at all. And she have found
be number one on the list.
She have found men that, or a man that to him that's cool. Like, she don't have to do much. He does everything. She don't have to, do too much or anything to please her. Like, she's like a lazy sex partner.
A pillow princess.
Like, sexually, she's mad lazy. But she wants you to do everything under the sun to her. I couldn't get with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. But she got a man, though. So, and that's her thing. He don't require a lot of pleasure.
Right. Some people do understand that there are people like pillow princesses that don't really want to do anything. There's some people who want to just be totally dogged out and be submissive and all that kind of stuff. So I think it just really depends on what it is that you like. Or what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with. But I don't know if I can stay in a relationship with somebody with really low standards. Because that means, like, I'm really accepting anything. And that means I've given up all of my standards to embrace your low standards.
But that's why I said sometimes it don't work.
Ms. Young says she's sexually selfish in some ways. So Brenda is saying that's not fair. Please me like I please you mentally and sexually. That's one thing that we are missing, the mentally part.
I agree. But everybody don't, feel that way. Like, all right, when you saying standards, the woman's standards of her home and her car might be, she might want to live in a $500,000 to $700,000 house and drive a Porsche or Benz truck. Her man that's in love with her, he might be humble. He might be cool with a $200,000 to $250,000 house with a Camry. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean by like her standards are at like a different level, and he feel like, why you need all that? We good with this $200,000 house with some new Camrys or a Honda. She might be like, nah, I want the $700,000 house with the Benz truck. You feel what I'm saying? Like people have different standards on different levels.
Right, and so that means they're going to constantly fight about their level of standard, because if she can't pay for the 700,000, and her expectation is that he do it when he's comfortable in 250, that's always going to be a point of contention amongst them. So not just with the money piece, that's going to be a lot of things like incompatibility. Just
But sometimes
I don't know how it works.
Sometimes that can keep you from being with somebody that really love and adore you. And I'm gonna give a prime example again, because I know a lot of different situations and people. I know personally a woman who is a doctor, right? She is, I forget what she specializes in, but she's a doctor. The man that was trying to court her, hard-working man, got a good job and all that stuff, but he don't make what she make. She make like $300,000 a year. The man only make like $80,000. All her friends like, girl, you can't be with him, you can't date him, you can't do this. All her homegirls and the women around her was telling her no, because she made like $300,000 a year, and the man that wanted to be with her only made like 80. If she followed what those standards and people around her were saying, they wouldn't end up being married. She ended up marrying him because she was like, he chased her for about 3 years, 4 years, right? She out here dating, doing her thing, getting dug out. The doctors with all the big bread, driving the Porsches and the Lambos and the big houses, they trashing her. All they wanted to do is, sleep around. So after him chasing her and trying to date her for like 3, 4 years, she actually ended up giving him a chance. And from what she described, she said he's the best man that she had ever met in her life. Even though he only made 85,000, that was the best man and best relationship she had ever been in, because he treated her like a queen. The dudes that made the $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 at the hospital that she worked with, dubbed her. And the men that was in that caliber dubbed her. So she listened to everybody else about it because of the money. So she out here getting dug out for a while. But when she actually gave him a chance, no, he wasn't in her bracket financially, but as a man, he treated her like a queen.
They balance out. That's good. And it shouldn't even be that his income has to be equal to hers. So, Lakia, we did talk about investments. That was one of the first things we talked about, being a reason we stay. So Ms. Young is saying sympathy is a reason we stay. We feel for the other person. Unfortunately, we're listening to their old man stories, and I can't catch a break, etc. Is that on the list? We'll see, Ms. Young. I think, yeah, that is on the list. So we'll get to that in a second. Jennifer is saying, for me personally, I just didn't want to fail. I wanted my children to see a happy relationship. Jennifer Clarinet earlier made the point that when a relationship is terrible between the mom and the boyfriend or husband, whoever, the children actually feel that as well, and it's unhealthy for everybody. But that also fell in the investment category as a reason why we stay. So now Christina, Rip's crazy. She said if he can find a clip without me giving road maps, road signs, and directions, she's thrilled. Rips, let me know when you find them, shorty. So Ms. Young is saying, give me the $700,000 house and a twin Honda Accords. So your house standards are really high and the car standards are really low. But wait a minute, Honda is good. So, you can't really say that.
That's what I'm saying.
So I would rather have the $700,000 house, because cars, as soon as you drop them off, they depreciate. They not even worth it.
But some people want it all. Some people want it all. But that $700,000 house,
Yeah, you know what you can do with
you
that?
can do a lot.
Oh,
Only if you know the market.
yeah.
Some people think just because the $700,000 house is a good deal. You gotta know the market. You gotta know the community. You gotta know where you live at. You gotta know what you're getting for that 700,000.
Right.
Because you can buy a $700,000 home that now you stuck and you can't make no other moves for a long time because the value is at the max of the market and you don't have any equity in the house. So I know that's teaching.
And your disposable income, that debt income ratio is tight.
So I know that's a little teaching on a different level, but it's like some people don't understand. Like, what if y'all get that $700,000 house and the bed's cool, but now you can't afford to take trips. You can't afford to travel the world with your partner. You can't afford to go out dancing and and partying and having fun with your partner.
And riding around good, who cares about that?
It's more to life than that. And sometimes some people get in relationships thinking it's just about maxing out. See, that's what America wants you to do. I'm gonna take you to a different place real quick. America don't want you to get outside of America and see what else is going on in the world. I'm gonna talk to you real quick. There are some beautiful places on this planet that you need to get out there and see. There's a lot of different countries and cities and states that you need to go see
You better
and
not
learn
say
the
Miami.
world. I ain't gonna say nothing about no Miami, because Miami is a place I saw. Tell you three what? Cities, states, countries, what? Which you wanna know?
3 countries, I should say.
I would say somewhere that I've been recently, Colombia is one of the most beautiful countries that I've been to thus far. Like the landscape of it, the people, the food is very beautiful, and it's one of the least expensive trips that you can take. No, mark my word, Colombia is so beautiful. The water is beautiful. The mountains, the grass, the vegetation, the trees, the air is a beautiful place. And you can eat lavishly, live lavishly, do some fun stuff for like minimum prices. Like me and a couple of my friends, we went to this restaurant, right? And we had like some expensive meals in America. We had ordered like steaks, lobster, shrimp. We had wine and like desserts and everything. It's like 4 of us. In America, I lie to y'all not, no exaggeration. If you ever been to Colombia, you know I'm telling the truth. In America, this same table of food that we spending, it would have been like $300, $400 in America. It didn't even come to $100 American in Colombia.
Wow.
And when I say we had steak, shrimp, potatoes, like wine, dessert, and everything, because of the money difference, you can get like a lavish home over there, or like the same type of property that you could get here. It depends on what parts. It depends on what parts. It's like, and I think people get that misconstrued. If you go in the urban part of Baltimore, is it safe for you to live there? And it costs a grip to live there. Like the difference that I really saw when I was over Colombia was their neighborhoods that's impoverished. They made out of like mud, stone, foam, and foil and stuff. But their people got a different level of standards. Like they still like cleaning up and want more and like trying to do better. They just poor. You feel what I'm saying? But they want more. Yo, it's beautiful over there. But the places that are doing well, oh my gosh, it'll be some of the most beautiful places that you went. Somewhere else that I've been to that's extremely beautiful when I went to Thailand. It was tough with the language barrier, but it's an extremely beautiful place that you want to see. And the reason why I say this is sometimes people max out on their lifestyle, but they don't get to see the world, right? It's a beautiful place out here. Places out here. Like, look at it, and I said this before on one show. There's 7.5 billion people on this planet, right? We boxing our mind and our lifestyle in America, and America is only 300 and some million people. So if you take America off of the planet, there's still another 7 billion people on this earth. So the reason why I'm making that a point is sometimes we are only looking for a relationship in our small city. Baltimore is small compared to Los Angeles, compared to Texas, compared to New York, compared to Alabama, compared to Jersey. Yo, Baltimore is so much smaller than these other cities, states, and countries. And sometimes we are only closing our mind to thinking, oh, I gotta find my husband or my wife in Baltimore. Well, if you travel, you look outside the box sometimes. Take a ride in New York. It's millions of people that live in New York. You might just find a husband or wife in New York. You might just find your husband or wife in Texas or Jersey, Cali. And my point of saying this is, another point I want to make really quick is Baltimore is kind of segregated in two parts. It's extremely white and it's extremely black. Other places have different cultures and different mixtures of people. So when you're looking for a relationship or when you're looking for a partner, you might haven't found your partner because you are only looking in this Baltimore range and Baltimore area. And I talk to my Baltimore people who are listening, but I know it's people on here from other states and cities, and that's for you as well. If you are only staying in your own city and your own surroundings, it might be hard for you to find a partner because you only living in that small box. Sometimes you gotta travel. Seriously.
Okay. So let me do a couple of these comments. So Brenda is saying, just make my soul happy and match my mindset and life goal, motivations, etc. Sometimes, Brenda, thank you for making that point. Sometimes people do stay in situations in which the mindsets don't match. And unfortunately, the person who has that higher level of standards and ambition is the one who kind of like gets shitted on in the end. So Quaisha is saying, I'm no Halle Berry, but I know I have worth. I would never just accept the status quo. I know I have the potential to make someone really happy and satisfied. Equal maturity between both parties is a must. Maturity allows you to be open-minded and okay with exploring other avenues to satisfying your partner. You don't got to be Halle Berry. Everybody cannot be no Halle Berry. But that's the point that Real was saying. People don't know their worth. And unfortunately, even some of the most beautiful people have low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's that. Don't get that misconstrued. It's women and men out here that are extremely beautiful people, but they don't feel that way about themselves. Exactly. Sometimes we get caught up in looking at the outer shell and don't understand what's going on in the inside. Right. I know an older guy, he used a terminology. He said, some people are shit wrapped in gold foil. And when he broke it down to me, it made a lot of sense. Like your insides of who you are as a person, who you are as a man, who you are as a woman might not be that appealing. But you could be extremely handsome. You know what I'm saying? You could be a man or woman. They want this tall, dark man, muscular and shape and all this stuff. But he literally could just treat women like pure trash. But you see him and by the catch of the eye, you look like, oh my God, this man is beautiful. Or you could be looking at a woman. I know some person, like they beautiful. Like you look at them like, oh my God, she's beautiful. But beyond her looks, she has nothing else to give you. Like she don't have nothing in her heart to give you, and she don't have nothing in her brain to give out. So sometimes it's bigger than how someone looks. After a while, looks can either get better or looks can get worse. Because I know some women who, when they were younger, they wasn't that cute. But they turned out to blossom to be a woman. You like, damn, I didn't know she looked like that. And then you look at a woman, she was, cute in high school or college, and then now as a grown woman, she ain't that bad no more. Life you change. You can be extremely, pretty or cute at one time or in shape at one time, and then 5 years from now, you might not be as beautiful as in shape because life changed. So if you only judging somebody off of how they look and how they appear instead of what's in their heart and mind, you can lose out on some good souls out there.
Right. So let's get back to what the research is saying. It goes on to say that if you perceive that an alternative might be preferable to your current situation, you are more likely to leave your relationship. But if you perceive low quality alternatives, you are more likely to stay, even in an unsatisfying relationship. So, if you think that the grass is greener on the other side, is basically what this is referring to. If you find something greener, you're more likely to leave. But if you don't think anything is happening, you're going to be more likely to stay. So, And it goes on to say that women with low self-esteem perceive fewer desirable alternatives to their current relationship. And I don't know that it's really the external factors that are mattering. I think it's just that the low self-esteem stops you from trying, you know, or, feeling desired and just trying to make moves. So, hey, Uncle, Michael is saying when we get away from looks and prestige and financial bank accounts, we can find true happiness and love. So, Uncle, you want to date a broke person? Let me know, because you're a man. Because we already know that.
I got another one.
We already know that women don't like no broke men.
Kids.
Kids what?
I've spoken to women who felt like they had too many kids to try to move on and find a new man. So if she got 3 or 4 or 5 kids with this man, or maybe she got 2 baby fathers already, but the one man she met is the second one, that's her husband. But the first dude she was with, she had 2 children, right? And then she met this other guy, he married her, and she had 2 or 3 with him. So now she had 4 or 5 kids. So she looking at it like, I'm not happy in this relationship, but how am I gonna move on? I got 4 or 5 kids. Ain't nobody else gonna want me. I've talked to a lot of women that feel like they got too many kids and they can't leave their current situation because who else gonna want them with that?
So I have 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
And I can definitely attest to that. Reginald was saying he gets turned down sometimes because he's small built. I mean, what's you having trouble? Are you sure?
So I ain't gonna say I've had trouble, but what I will say is I've had women tell me I'm very attractive, but they wish I was taller. Or
you wouldn't be the same
like but women say stuff like that. Like I've heard women say a lot of stuff like Wesley, you're successful, or I love what you stand for, I love what you do, or you nice looking and this and that, but I like taller men. I've had women. I don't get offended because I am who I am. Like for people who don't know me, I'm 5'7", I weigh 179. I'm in shape. I'm not overweight or things like that. I feel like I'm very, intelligent, outgoing, smart man, things like that. So me personally, I don't take it personal when a woman say I'm not tall enough for her. It's throughout my whole life because I'm athletic. I blew the doors off taller guys. I take a little pleasure in that. I was the fastest in every sport I played. The fastest. So dudes were tall. I was way quicker. I used to go dunk when I was younger. So they was taller, and I had a lot of what they call bounce. So even though I was 5'7", I still could dunk when I was a little young fad. My knee injury. I was always one of the strongest. So me personally, I don't take it personal. If a woman have a preference, that's her preference. You know what I'm saying? But I do think they lose out on.
He just gave y'all his profile. Let's see if we can see what.
I do think they lose out on good men worrying about, oh, you ain't 6'5". Yeah.
I mean, I think that everybody likes what they like. If you like Tall, handsome, if you like supersized BBW, I mean, people like what they like, right? So, and I think that when we start getting into, oh, I wish you were taller, I wish you were smaller. I think you really do detract from who that person is.
But I think it matters too, though, because at the end of the day,
and get your preference.
At the end of the day, I think you should be okay with who you wake up and go to sleep to at night. Like, I don't want to, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't want to wake up to a woman that when I roll over, I'm not physically attracted or turned on to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not being rude. That's just being real. Like, if you're going to be with somebody, I think some people overlook looks, but that you have to be like a phenomenal person to make somebody feel really good if they're not attracted to you. To like really be with somebody that you are physically unattractive to, like they gotta really be phenomenal, like really treating you a certain type of way, because I think it had to be some type of physical attraction. You don't think so? You don't think it had to be none? Like you're not physically attracted to them at all? Like I want to hear the women comment on that, like because I know some women, because of the man's bank account, they marry a man that she is literally not physically attracted to him at all. Like, but he got that bread, so she married him and she with him. But like, she not attracted. Like, I was at a dinner party with some of my sisters one day, and the one, because women be real if they couple with you. The one, one of my sister friends, she was like, she literally hates sleeping with her husband. So, and my thing was, I'm like, well, why the heck did you marry this man? That sounds disgusting to me. And she like, and again, I hate using this word, but I want to tell the story accurately. She like, my bitches get it, though. You don't get it, Wesley, but my bitches get it. And I'm like, what you mean your bitches get it? Like, they pumping you up for that? She like, no, you just don't know who I'm married to. And they got that bag. So it's women out here that
How rich he is. I mean, it just depends.
like he could be like butt ugly and you don't even like kissing him. But he got that bread, so you in that. You in that, you got that bread. So how do you mentally deal with that as a woman though? How you mentally deal with that as a woman?
I'm sure there's a lot of people who
Dealing with it.
who you may have been with or dealt with or whatever, and there was a lot of attributes that you didn't like, but you still stayed for whatever purpose or reason that you had or wanted to be there for. So I say do what you have to do.
But I'm trying to hear.
Because in the end, it's all going to surface eventually. Because
I don't know.
how long can you be okay with that? Because if your physical needs aren't being met, you have to run off to get them, right? So should he catch you, then what?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's some beautiful, gorgeous women out here walking around with like a big gold. I don't even know what they call them. Like a big gorgonzola, and he walked through the door, and everybody looking like, damn, how he get her? But if you know he got that bag, you know how he got her, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of that going on. Like, the man don't even be looking.
But I think that goes further into the reason why society really controls what it is that we consider beautiful, right? Some of these features they prefer lighter skin over darker skin, big eyes versus chin.
Yeah, but I ain't talking about that. You going into like the deep like part of it. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like a woman can see if another woman is a beautiful woman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go ahead and put how he looks aside. This lifestyle that he's providing me, all of y'all want to envy me because you can't live that lifestyle. When I look at couples sometimes, I'm like, damn, that's a mismatched couple. Like, how did he pull her?
Yeah,
I get it. I get what you're
but
saying.
that's not, I mean, to some, but me, I don't envy that. Like, and again, I'm not trying to be
so he's supposed to sing because he's ugly?
That's not what I'm saying. Like, he got a bad joint. No, he wouldn't get that bad joint if he wasn't rich. He know he wouldn't get that bad joint if he wasn't rich. But now he rich and he comes in with the baddest joint. Like, we know she there for the bread.
What if she really likes him? What if her attraction is to ugly dudes?
All right, well, that's different. That's not what the discussion about. That's different.
Dudes with the feet what's the feet that, like, they be walking on the inside of the feet?
I don't know what you're talking about. Bow-legged, inside
like
the feet.
Like the shoes be like the side, like the arch, be like all on the ground.
I don't know. But what I'm saying is, you have way more women out here that will marry a man for the bag and the lifestyle.
What about the men who chasing around the rich women?
That's rare. That's rare.
Rare?
It's not a lot of women. Where do I say it's rare? Oh, you said the other. That's different. But what I'm saying is, yeah, he trying to get the bag too. But my point is, there's more relationships where the man have a lot of money and the woman is beautiful than it is the woman that have. And I want to talk about that too. Why is it tougher for when it's a woman who is very established and she's like a big director or some type of lawyer, judge, or business owner, and she make all this money? She can't be with a man unless he make a lot of money too. But if it's a man that's extremely successful, men don't be like, oh, my woman got to be as successful as I am. But a woman who's extremely successful, she be like, oh, I can't date a regular dude. He got to be getting it like me. Come on. There's way more women out here, Neek, that get with a man who's rich than it is a man who get with a woman who's rich. Women are more likely to accept a man with a regular job if she's the one really winning. But there's a lot of men out here. If you're looking at the football, the basketball, the rappers, the male singers, the male lawyers, the male doctors, the male judges, a lot of them have regular women. But if you look at the women in those positions, a lot of them don't have regular men.
They getting jammed up because those men are looking for a regular vagina. It doesn't matter how much money she is. They getting caught up because of the vagina.
Remember when Britney Spears married that regular dude, Kevin Federline or something like that? He got real popular because of the fact that she was Britney Spears and he was a regular man. But the women that marry rich men and they regular, nobody really look at that.
And what happened in the end with that regular man that she married?
What happened?
I don't think it was good though, because they were talking about them a lot. So Ms. Young is saying they got it messed up, Wesley. LOL. So Michael was saying, how about stability instead of take care of all my needs? Finances are a plus, however. Be miserable as hell. Wesley, tell their asses that big things come in small packs. don't tell him that. Don't.
Get it popping.
So the Clarnet is saying, if no attraction, I don't care about that bank account, etc. Very true. I don't know. I don't know this. I don't know. So Tanya is also sharing she can't look past the ugliness. Hey, Miss Morris, how are you? She says she needs attractive guys. So do you think that's shallow? Because everybody can't be pretty, everybody can't be skinny,
well,
everybody
you shouldn't
can't
be
be
with
rich.
somebody. Everybody can't be one thing, but that's not your person then. I don't think that's shallow to want somebody to be, for you to want to be attracted to somebody. Like I'm telling y'all flat out, I don't think I'm shallow that I want a woman that when I roll over to her, I want to look, you feel me? I want to be stable like that and my baby beautiful and kiss her and roll over and go back to sleep. Like that's just me. I don't think that shallow of wanting to be, and my attraction to a woman could be different from another person's attraction. I'm saying what I'm attracted to. So what attracts me, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't even saying that. Here you go with your, don't listen to her. Here she goes. She always trying to throw me out.
You just put your whole profile on Christian Mingle. I'm 5'7", 165.
No, when I'm saying it, I ain't say 165. I'm like 175, 180 because
he got muscles.
Because you know, I see you over there. No, but what I'm saying is, I want to be attracted to my woman.
I get it.
No matter how good she cook, if I'm not attracted to her,
if Gabby Cinnabag, not saying that she ugly, because she, big old chocolate.
I don't know who Gabby Cinnabag.
Precious.
I'm good off Precious. I'm good.
So if she saw you, she was like, "Come on, Wesley, let's get
this." I'm good off Precious. I don't
What's
care how much
money
she got.
What's the comedian with the high top fade? It's like spiked out. What if she was like, "Come on"?
I don't know who you talking about.
Whatever. So Miss Young is saying, "Oh boy, hold up, Wesley. So if you're married, deeply in love, have a few kids, and her body can't snap back after that last baby, you're going to have an issue because you're no longer physically attracted to her."
So let me address that. That's not what I said. I'm talking about walking into the door. I am not walking into the door being physically unattracted to a woman, giving her my last name, committing and giving my vows and pledging to this woman if I'm not physically attracted. Now, if I get with a woman and I love her and I'm physically attracted to her in the beginning, and then as life go along, things change, like she may gain weight or an accident or a stroke, I don't know. I'm not going to leave somebody because life hit them. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, I am not the man that you can be with that is not going to be like, come on, babe, let's go get it popping. I'm the type of boyfriend, fiance, husband, whatever life that I'm a choose, I'm a ball. If I'm a part of riding mountain bikes, that's why I say you need to get with a partner that makes sense and like things you like. I like biking. So if I like biking, I need a woman that even if she never biked before, she's willing to try it. I like working out and going to the gym. She don't have to be as fit as me, but she got to at least try and get to the gym with me. You feel what I'm saying? Like my brother, I tell my brother like, yo, I love the relationship you and your woman have. When they get off work, they might work different jobs and stuff like that, but she at the gym with him. They working out, they motivating each other. So she getting fit, he getting fit. They watching each other's diet. No, babe, don't eat that. We watch no calories. No, don't do this. I feel like a relationship should be that. And if that's not what you into, then don't be with that person because that, in my opinion, creates unhappiness. And it's like you're almost forcing somebody to yearn and want to be with somebody else. Why be with somebody that's completely, totally not into the things that you into? So I tell people all the time, prime example, and y'all know I'm real. I put my personal information out there. That's just what it's about. The last woman that I was dating recently, when she saw me, she was attracted to me as a man. She attracted to my mind. She attracted to, how people look at me. She was attracted to Wesley. But being with Wesley, you have to understand that I have an extremely busy schedule. So I'm not the man that's at the lounges. I'm not the man that's at the parties. I'm not the man that's out here running the streets and none of that. You don't got to deal with that for me. You don't got to deal with me being at nobody's lounge or party or happy hour. But what you do have to deal with is Wesley might be at a community meeting all around town. Wesley might be at, some different program for the kids. I might have a different speaking engagement. I might have to, go to some type of event or something. If she's not into the community stuff like I am, then it's not going to work out because she's looking at me like, yo, you doing too much. And I'm looking at her like, this is who I am. You feel what I'm saying? Malcolm X can't marry anybody. Marcus Garvey can't marry anybody. It's certain people that you got to be with. Obama couldn't be with anybody. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think people match up. Can you get them ugly feet out of here?
This is the feet I was talking about. You see how the inside is called out toeing. I don't want to date a man with out toeing. Go ahead, Wesley. So all of the women are saying they cannot deal with someone they're not physically attracted to, and they want to marry for love and not money. So we have some wonderful viewers.
So I like that point, and I like where they coming in at because be real with it.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Reginald said they have sites for sugar mamas that have money.
They do. They do.
Derek is trying to find out the site, so I'm sure somebody will be looking up with and become a sugar baby. So Ms. Clarnett is saying he's speaking facts. My homegirl says that all the time. Money does matter. It does. Women will, if the sex is good, they will what? Deal with an ugly guy? So Reginald saying, I can't remember at the moment. So let's Google sugar mama websites. So Ms. Young is saying he got custody of the kids, get child support, and he's living a life while she keeps going back to mental facilities. Who are you talking about, Ms. Young? Question is saying, but these so-called ugly men know these women are with them because of finances, and yet they go through with it. So both parties got to take responsibility. You don't have to allow a person to use you just because somebody decided your looks don't please their corneas. That's true.
It is.
That's true. But that's what I'm saying. So are we implying that ugly people should stay single?
No.
But society.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
Society is saying what's ugly.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what's not attractive to you. I'm not saying one woman could be beautiful to the man across the street, but she might not be beautiful to me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like what society is saying. What I'm saying is what you like. If you with somebody that you are physically unattracted to, not society. We ain't talking about society right now. If you are a woman and you with a man that you are literally physically unattractive to, and you with him because the money he has, I don't see how that's happiness. You can't even stand to even lay up with this man. Like, that's not happiness. I'm not talking about what society is trying to make you think
it's
is
like
beautiful.
You feel void with like food, shopping. I mean, same concept.
I mean, I guess.
Same concept. So, all right, y'all, come on, because we got 6 reasons we only get 2. So, Ms. Young is saying, okay, got it. Check the tone in your voice. I don't have no honey and lemons for the tea.
All right, you right. Hey, y'all already know I lose my voice like every Monday. Every Monday I got recharged, bro. I use my voice a lot. I speak a lot of places. I'm always somewhere, so I lose my voice when I come on here. So you right.
So Derek is saying they lying. They gonna get with the ugly man just for the money. Shut up, Derek. Cause you could get with an ugly lady for money. So, my uncle saying shallow asses. And Jamel, instead of putting up his thing on Christian Mingle, he said where the sugar mamas at.
Mm.
Oh, Miss Young was talking about she was cleaning it up with us for about Britney Spears. So, oh, well, he was doing much better than her. He got custody of the kids, he got child support and living life. And Britney Spears is not doing so well. She went back and forth. So Miss Morris is saying if the sex is good, women with money will accept a man that's not on her level financially. Yeah, that's why you got all.
No, I believe that.
All of these bums out here who ain't got shit.
I believe that. But I bet you she attracted to him though. That's the difference. She has money. So if a woman has a lot of money, she's not about to have money. He's not financially stable and he ugly. Nah, bro. Nah. Now, if he has some and she like, yo, he fine as SHIT or whatever, but he got no bread, I got her doing that. But him not being attracted, she not being attracted to him, no bread too, and she let him smack it, why she let him smack? It's no, come on. That don't even make sense. She got the bread and he got
a 12-inch.
That's what I'm saying. How does she even know he got a 12-inch if he don't have no bread and he ugly? Fuck did she learn about the 12-inch? That's what I'll be getting about y'all women sometimes. How do you even learn if you got the 12 or 4 arm in his pants if he ain't got no bread and he ugly? How you learn that?
He probably brushed up against me in the club.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. He brushed up against you into the club.
I was living. So Derek is saying, no, I'm not. The D won't get up for something it don't like.
Me
unlike women.
Me either. If I'm not physically attracted to you, my penis don't work. I don't care about your bread. Your bread ain't making my penis work, bro. If I'm looking at you and I'm like, damn, I can't even smack this up. Like, you feel me?
She's shallow.
Yeah, you can call me shallow if you want. Your money ain't gonna make my man wake up. You feel me? Like, we gonna be sad in that damn house. If I'm only there for the money, we sad. Because I'm not eating no box. My man not waking up. I'm going to buy you a couple toys with your own money and just keep living off your money if I'm there for the bread. Because I can't smack something up I'm not physically attracted to. I don't know what y'all be doing out here, bro.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
What's another one, though?
A shift in priority.
A shift in priorities.
Mm-hmm. That's another reason why you stay.
Explain.
So, partner enhancement and positive illusions both refer to the fact that we tend to see our romantic partners positively, sometimes unrealistically so. So, even if you're a bum, I'm more optimistic. I'm like, oh, my baby, we'll get there one day.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, those who view their partners more positively also report more relationship satisfaction.
So, I get that one. So, one of my female close friends, one of her relationships was exactly that. She was highly educated, had her own house, car, money in the bank, good credit, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. The guy she was with, very nice, handsome looking guy or whatever, and she saw what you call potential. So she was like, he has a lot of potential, he's like extremely smart, he's this, he's that. But what she didn't gauge is, he don't have the work ethic to match that potential. So all throughout that relationship that they was together for 4 years, it was her constantly trying to amp him up to get him to tap into his potential. So she see like, oh, you smart or you gifted, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. But she didn't see like, dude didn't have the work ethic to match his own potential. So in that relationship, she's working her lifestyle and her jobs and her careers and also trying to help advance him as a man. And I tell women all the time, you can't make a man be a man. Like that man has to already be him. You can help enhance him. I'll always say a good woman can help make a man better, but she can't make him be a man. He has to already have these dreams, goals, and aspirations, and to drive himself. Now, she can come and help him see that through, just like a man can come help a woman see that through. But I'm a firm believer that if it's not already in that person, you can't like make them do it because they only doing certain things for you. Now, if they have those dreams and goals, and then you come and help them tap into it even more, that's a different story. I do believe in that. I do believe a woman can see a man like, say if she see a man, he a cook, and he's trying to work to be, buy his own food truck. But he don't have the finances and the credit and the money right now. But he working mad hard to try to get there. You feel what I'm saying? Like he trying to get there. She can't come along if she together and kind of help him get there and push him towards it. I do think that type of thing can work. But say if he worked at a kitchen, but he only took that job just to get a job. He only cooked just to get a job. But because she like, well, babe, we can tap into this because you cook. He might not fully see that through because it's like that's not what he already envisioned. So now she kind of trying to build him to get there. He's not naturally already there. I think those type of things fail a lot, and I feel like women be like, "Oh, he got a lot of potential. I try to help him. He got already had that grind. He might not be there, but he got had a grind."
Yeah, there's some things you either have or you don't, and that's kind of one of them. So if your partner is more generous but not thoughtful, you might come to value the generosity more than the thoughtfulness over the course of the relationship. So when your partner reveals negative characteristics, you downgrade the importance of those characteristics and upgrade the importance of the positive traits that they possess. So I think that is a lot of ignoring happening, in my opinion. So another reason why people stay in undesirable relationships, let's see what Derek has to say.
I agree with Derek. Go ahead. I agree with Derek. Go ahead.
Okay, a man can develop their ambition even if we didn't start out with it, but it has to be his decision. No woman can get an influence or make him do something he's not going to do or be something he's not going to be. Very true. Very true. Something you just either have or you don't.
I believe that, Derek. So it's certain ambitions that you might not start out with as a man or woman, but things through life that you learn and experience and go through, now you've developed that ambition. That person could be a spark to it, but you developed it yourself. They can't force it upon you. And I think sometimes with a lot of women who are developed and they see a man that has like what they call quote unquote damn, I lost the word. Potential. When he had potential, again, I always use the word drive and ambition. If that man don't have the drive and that ambition to match his potential growth, then he won't go anywhere. So, if my homegirl was to speak on it, they was together for 4 years, and she tried to push and push and push and push. And I will always tell her, like, he don't have it. Just because he's talented, he don't have what you trying to make him have. You feel what I'm saying? So they've been broke up for 3 years. You know what? 3 years after they've broken up, he's still in the same position, and she has made major growth and gains in life. Like she has got, better opportunities, new, bigger home, car, her lifestyle is different. He's still in the same position from when they broke up 3 years ago.
And because he doesn't want it, well, let me guarantee you something. If somebody wants something bad enough, they want to go out.
Exactly.
So if you need to come stay with me for a little bit, and I don't see you doing anything that you're supposed to do, the only way to get you to do what it is that you're supposed to do or need to do is for me to kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost every single time that has happened from firsthand experience, we always feel like we need to feel sorry for somebody, we need to help somebody, but you put them to it, they'll get it done. So you were so in such a bad position, you ain't had nowhere to go if you ain't come to my house, and when I put you out, guess what you found? Somewhere else to go. You know what I mean? So you have to let them get it on their own, because if they really want it that bad, they'll get it. So we got to stop being precious. So let's move on. So manipulation. So several people talked about this one earlier. If your partner is aware that you want to leave the relationship, he or she may use different methods of manipulation to force you to stay. Emotional manipulation, such as belittling, demeaning, or even threats of violence against future alternative partners. That's that domestic violence, that emotional abuse that we were talking about. Men with lower self-esteem, as well as men who are less physically attractive than their partners, may be more likely to use manipulation to prevent their partners from leaving their relationships. You ugly bitch. The distress associated with emotional abuse or the physical implications of intimate partner violence are strong deterrents to those seeking to leave relationships. And there was a study in 2011 that suggests that women who are psychologically distressed may not feel like they have the ability to leave their partner.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So I'm gonna give a scenario. What about this? Man and woman work together, but the man don't live in the same state. He just was there for training,
okay.
and the training was for like a year. Start dating this woman, they get into a relationship. When the training is done, he's shipped back to his original state. His original state, he has like his kid, like 2 kids there. But he was with this woman in another state when he was there for training. So he gets his job transferred, leave from where his kids was at, get his job transferred, and go to another state with the woman. After he moves in with her, she realized like this is a whole different scenario that I didn't want. She didn't know he was like that after they moved in together, right? Now she feels stuck. Because she feels like, how can I leave this man after I convinced him to move and relocate from one state to another state to live with me? He left the state where his kids and family was at to come live with me. So he moved from one state to another, and we got a apartment and things like that together. How can I leave this situation? So she almost feels like, I gotta stay. I can't like leave. Like, I'm gonna be like the cruddiest person ever. This man had moved from another state to be with me.
So she guilt playing herself.
Basically, yeah. She's like, I can't get out of this. I gotta be a woman. I gotta put my big drawers on. Like she be like, I gotta be a woman. I gotta woman up, put my big girl drawers on, and do what I gotta do because I didn't talk this man into moving in with me. Basically,
people make mistakes all the time. All right, well, babe, after this lease is up, I don't know that our relationship was quite ready for that. I mean, it was selfish of me to have you leave your kids. I mean, come up with something creative. They always feel, throw the kids in there. That's a good way out.
So when we've had this discussion, she's like, Wes, how can I leave this man? He's relocated from one part of the world to another one with me, like, and that's what I said, like, y'all haven't married, y'all haven't fully committed, you haven't go flash for everything, but she's like, I can't leave him. He moved from one state to another. His kids there, he left me, transferred his job. What if his job don't transfer him back? Like, now he's gonna be here in the state. He only came here for me, but I'm not happy. And I'm like, damn.
Well, transfer your job back or go visit your kids. I mean, so he gonna keep putting the pressure on because now he's gonna want to keep moving forward in a relationship. You know all along you don't want to move forward. You just don't even want to be in this situation. So now he's gonna put a ring on it, and you just gonna accept it just because he put a ring on it. You don't know how to break up with him.
A lot of that type of stuff is happening.
I'm not saying
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of stuff out here happening. I know another scenario that young lady was dating this guy for 2 years. Mm-hmm. He proposed to her at this big family event in Gatineau. She said yes, but didn't really want to. But she felt like she was so pressured into it. Like, so many people was around, so many people was there. How can I say no? And then, like, her family, he had her family there, his family there, all their friends and stuff. She didn't want to accept the ring, but he proposed to her in front of so many people, and she was like, oh my God, how can I not say yes? So she said yes, went through the engagement and the marriage and everything because she said his family and her family was just so like, oh my God, this is what y'all supposed to be doing. She's still married to this man right now, saying she don't want to, like,
She shouldn't have never did.
yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. The pressures of what society thinks, what family thinks, what friends think. I mean, you really have to do what's best for you. And that's why we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about that Cardi B and Offset situation where he came out and, during one of her concerts and apologized. You cannot get her real genuine response by putting her on a spot like that. So now this lady is going to be unhappy because she knew all along she didn't want to be in that situation.
Oh,
because
man.
her family and friends are there.
Read the last one. I like what she said.
Miss Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Morris loves you, Wesley.
Miss Morris,
Yes.
talk to her.
Back to what you alluded to earlier. Why stay if you're not happy? He's a grown man, and she didn't date long enough to see how he really was. People jump into relationships too soon because they're afraid to be alone.
That last part, afraid to be alone. There's tons of people out here that jump into relationships with people just to say I have a man, just to say I have a woman, just to say I have somebody. They jump into these relationships just to say I'm with somebody. There's tons of people out here that are in relationships just to be like I have a person to call mine. Right. You're not even really happy. You don't even really want to be there, but just to say you have somebody. Also, the pressure of, I know another friend that because all of her homegirls and her crew, because all of them was getting married and having babies, now she felt the pressure that, oh my God, all my girls got babies, all my girls getting married, where's my wedding, where's my man, where's my baby? So she ended up accepting something that she didn't really want and settled for because all the women around her were getting married and being in relationships and having babies. So now she felt like she was left out.
Right. Lisa, we were talking about people with a lot of children not being able to move on to other relationships. Can you lend us a hand in that? I was thinking about you earlier, and so you came on. Let us know what you think about being in a dating world with more than 4 children. That's it. Hold on. Let me go back to that manipulation piece real quick. This talked about manipulation in a lot of the negative respects. That domestic violence, like I'm gonna kill you. If you leave me, can't nobody have you. That kind of shit. But what about those more subtle things that are still manipulative? Like you buy me gifts, you try to put it on me, smack me up real good. Other subtle ways to manipulate people into staying. Guilt tripping. It doesn't have to get so serious where, you threatening me, you beating up my new boyfriend and all that other kind of stuff and manipulating me to stay in a relationship. It's a lot more subtle things that happen and go on in which people manipulate others to stay in these relationships. Hey, guys.
I mean, but I do feel like sometimes some people get up and leave, and then you looking like, damn, what just happened? Like I know another situation where and I think I talked about this. Matter of fact, I did bring this up before, like in the beginning of the year. I'm gonna bring it back. The dude was hustling, right? And he's always been hustling. And the girl knew he was hustling, but his hustling paid for that lifestyle. So he paid for her to go to college. She went and got her degree in nursing. She became an RN, a registered nurse. He paid before she became a nurse. He didn't want to pay for the apartment. He didn't want to pay for their cars. He didn't want to pay for their school. Well, once she became a nurse and started working at the hospital with all the higher level men that she was around, she started to treat her dude like he was lower level now because she got that exposure to different levels of men. Like she around doctors, she around anesthesiologists, she around paramedics, she around different levels of just men. Like she going to balls and stuff, and she meeting judges and lawyers and different level men. So now she's been around these different men, with high levels of exposure to different things in life. They driving all these fancy cars, they live in these big houses, they got the prestige of their career, they make this money, they got the respect of the community. So now she looking at her man like
She outgrew him.
exactly. So that's what she said. But he looking at it like BITCA, you from the same I'm from, I paid for you to go to school. How you gonna say you outgrew me? So he looking at it like, shorty, I paid for everything you have. How you get to what you got now and tell me you outgrew me when everything you have is paid for on my dime? I hustled, yeah, but you knew I hustled this whole time. So now you get to the degree, become a nurse, and get to a diet level. Now you out.
I aspired for something different.
So
something more. So, so Miss Morris is basically agreeing with me. They say things like they're going to change, they're sorry, and stuff like that. So I think there are more subtle things than these serious things that they're talking about here. That people do when they try to manipulate you and staying in relationships. So we're not just going to dog out the men because when men trying to escape, I'm just going to say I'm pregnant.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
You think you're going to keep them attractive by having a baby
Yeah.
or things like that. There's a lot that goes on. Speak on. I'm glad you brought it up as a woman.
Hold up.
No, speak on. You should have brought it up. You brought it up. There's a lot of it that goes on.
It is, but I'm just saying. So, Lisa is saying it's a case-by-case situation. It's hard to find time to entertain a man, but if that's what you want, you make time. I got caught up listening to Wesley.
What happened?
Lisa is a person. I wanted Jenny to talk about it too. So they have more children. But I mean they're both pretty, so it's probably not hard for them to find a man. Men want what they want. And so sometimes when they want to get close to you and you are making it a point that, I have 5 children, 7 children, however many children, some men are willing to go with it, some men are not, because some men are willing to embrace the responsibility, and it just depends on how you will sell it, how much responsibility are they going to have. You know me, I'm like, these stretch marks came because at one time I was skinny and I got big.
I know.
So they ain't gonna know about kids.
Yeah.
And so when they
you gotta finally find out, you gotta be upfront. You gotta get somebody the opportunity to know what's going on. Like, it's a dude I went to school with, and me and him converse every now and then or whatever. He wanted to volunteer, and man was talking, and we got cool a little bit. And he was like, yo, it's this woman I'm really into. He like, yo, I really want to date her and like be with her. He like, bro, but she got 6 kids. And like, in the group chat, all the men was talking about it, like, damn, yo, like 6. He like, yo, she got 6. None of mine. I don't have, you know what I mean? He like, yo, I want to be with her.
Oh, Lisa saying
but she got 6.
What
so that's what I'm saying. You got to get that man the opportunity.
You got 7, right?
You got to get that man that opportunity. That's what I'm saying. I like that, Lisa. You got to get that man that opportunity to know if he going to accept it or not. Don't let him play around.
Right, Miss Young. Miss Young saying, hell, you have women out here settling for men who have 7 and 8 kids. Exactly. So how you going to sit up here and talk about how many kids I got?
It shouldn't be a difference.
You should be taking care of all of them.
You're right. I agree. But it's a difference. It shouldn't be a difference, but it is. You know why? That woman, if she's a mother, she's the main caretaker of those 5 or 6 or 7 kids. That man could have 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 kids, but he's not the main caretaker. I don't mean to say it like that. It's wrong. I don't agree with it. I think a man should take care of all his kids 100%. But what I'm saying is a man with 8 kids is a little different than a woman with 8 kids. Because if she's a good mother, she taking care of all 8 of them, and they all living with her.
Exactly.
That man, they live with somebody else. Majority of the time.
They just go cock-block, and you can't go to her at her house, and y'all gotta make some other arrangements.
I'm just saying it's a different
scenario. She's not really looking at you to take care of her kids, because she's already doing a damn thing by herself. Anything that you came in to add, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, I got 7 kids, or because I'm not expecting you to come in and start taking care of my kids and all that other kind of stuff. Like I said, you not even
no disrespect. can I be real with y'all without getting scolded? 5, 6, and 7 kids, women, a lot. That's a lot for a new man that you never, none of them babies his. So he might,
well, you ain't moving in.
That's a lot though. He might listen because in a relationship, listen real quick. Okay. In a relationship as a man, we have to calculate everything if we really want to be with you. I'm talking about a real man. I ain't talking about a dude that's trying to just have sex with you. What I'm saying is, he's trying to say,
this is a good topic.
Right, so listen real quick. If I want to be with her, I got to calculate her kids. So if I'm looking at it like, all right, Wesley Hawkins as a man, I don't have no biological kids, but I have Elijah. Elijah's my son, and she got 7. So now if she got 7 and I got 1, that's 8 kids. And I want to have 1 by myself. So that's another one going to give her 8, going to give me 1. So that's 9 of us. We got to financially, break this down. Like
they have fathers.
No, a lot of these men not active, bro. I'm talking about real life.
I know what you're saying.
Even though they got fathers, we got to buy a house that can fit 8 or 9 kids. Do you know how much this house costs? Because I'm not dating for just date. In the beginning, all right, the first couple of months, yeah. Right. But after I'm dating her, I'm thinking about what's real. I'm calculating the women. So if I'm dating 3 women at the same time, can you listen real quick? If I'm dating 2 or 3 women, and what I mean by dating, I'm trying to get to know them. If I'm trying to get to know 2 women before I commit to 1, can we be real, man?
Go ahead.
People not dating just one person. If you don't know them yet, you might be taking 3 women out to dinner to figure out who you're going to be with. So when you at the table trying to get to know these women or who you're going to be with, her kids matter in your decision making if she going to be your future wife. So if she tell you like, yeah, I got 6. You got to calculate that in your financial budget. Okay, she got 6 kids. I really like this woman. I'm really thinking about being with her. But she got 7 or 6 or 8 kids. I got to financially count for this. Can I get a house and afford a house that can afford this? Can we take the type of trips that I want? Can they all fit in my car? I can't have a little small coupe no more. I got to get a minivan or excursion or something. You feel what I'm saying? I can't drive a little coupe and be split. I gotta get an excursion. I gotta buy an excursion with the extra seats in it. You feel me?
Well,
like these are the things that man thinking about.
Right, and let me tell you something. As soon as you get in that coochie, you're going to understand why she got those 7 kids. And your mind's like, oh, look, I'm getting ready to be a father. You didn't mean your vagina? Please, yes you did. Because as soon as he get in it, he gonna be
I don't know.
It's
a lot of smacking vaginas out here. It's a lot of smacking. You gotta have more going for you than some smacking vagina. You better be treating me like a king for me to marry something with 8 kids. That's a lot. I hope y'all don't take me wrong. That's a lot. 8 kids? Do you know how hard that is? Bruh, I'm taking on 8 kids from another.
Y'all can see his face.
Because I don't know, y'all want me to be real on here. I'm not trying to be mean, Lisa. I'm just being real, baby. Like, 8 kids is massive. That's 8 little joints and none of them mine. What if I wanted 1 with her? So she got 7, I give her 1, we got 8.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That's okay.
It's a lot. So I'm just saying.
So what's your maximum kids? Huh? What's your maximum kids? We're going to pick this up next week because I'm interested in hearing what the guys got to say about women with a lot of kids.
So me personally,
yes.
My maximum kids is 2. I'm willing, if I care for her and I miss her that much, I'm willing to take care of her and her 2 kids. I'm not taking care of her and her 5. I'll take her and her 2. I'm not taking the 5. That's a lot. Seriously. I'm big on financial stability. I'm big on financial literacy. I'm big on finances, period. I'm not judging her, but she might not for me.
Stable. She's financially stable on her own with her children.
That's for her. She can find another king. You ask me personally. I'm not down to nobody else as a second because I'm pretty sure Lisa can get men easy. But I'm saying me, I'll take care of a woman and her two. That's my max. I can't
say her man had none when she met him. Miss Morris is saying yours, mine, and ours. I know that's right. Equation is saying shit. 3 is too many to me. I mean, everybody has their limits.
That's my thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a bad thing. People have their limits.
I'm going to start. I don't want men to have no kids. They got to have a big penis and a lot of money and be cute.
That's cool. That's your preference. I'm just saying, be able to give something back.
All right. So we get ready to be in our last 3 clips, right? So Ms. Young saying her max is also 2, and he has to be active in every way when it comes to his children, and no baby mama drama. I cannot go to jail.
Hold on. I like that. I like that. Because I have a problem. Hold on, ladies. I have a problem with women that date men, get in a relationship with men who do not take care of their children. Why are you like that, sister? Why are you even accepting that? I never understood that. Why do you want a man and you allow him to not take care of his kids? That is not okay to me. I have a problem with women that be with men and you know he's not active or he's not a good man. That's not good.
That tells a lot about him, period.
But that speaks volumes about her too. If she with a man and she know he ain't doing what he gotta do, that speaks volumes.
Because people feel like they can change people when they see
well, I have a problem with that. For a woman to be laid up with a man, she know he ain't take care of his kids, she need to check herself.
I agree. But we want to save that for another show. Because in the end of this article, let's get back to what we tabled a little bit earlier. It says you rely on your family and friends for social support. So if you feel like you're in a bad relationship, talk to your family and friends. Because sometimes when they express the negative things and negative opinions about the relationship, that you're more likely to end a bad relationship. And when you are in a happy relationship, it's more successful if your family and friends support your relationship.
I agree with that. And the reason why I agree with that is because me personally, that's what I want. I want my relationship to have my family and friends involved because I'm big on family. I'm big on my people, like my circle, we do almost everything together. So if my woman don't get along with my family, that would be a big problem. So it wouldn't be good for neither one of us because my brother's always around. You feel what I'm saying? Like my brothers are always around me. So for my woman to not have a good relationship with my brothers and my family, I'm like a really family oriented type person as I got older because I didn't grow up like that. So when I connected my family as I got older, that means something to me. So when I was young, I didn't have my peoples around. You know, I was spread out from a lot of my family. But as I got older and grew up through life, my family, my friends, my core value people, they mean something to me. So for my woman not to have a good relationship with them or be jealous of the time or space that we have with them, that wouldn't be a good relationship for me. And also for me, we hold each other accountable. So it will be a blessing and good for her to have a good relationship with my people because of this factor right here. The men and the people that we're around, if we aren't doing good, we check each other. If my brothers or cousins or homeboys have a wife, a fiance, a girlfriend, and they doing something they ain't supposed to be doing, the other men around us hold each other accountable. That's one thing I'll say that we do that's real. Like, we be like, bro, come on, yo. Sis at home, we ain't even doing that. We big on that. So if my woman don't want my peoples around, I don't think we can work out. Like, I could love you, but I don't think it's going to be a happy relationship because my people's been around. Like, that's important.
So what if you head over heels and your brothers are like, Wes, this ain't good. Like, y'all need to break up.
We've dealt with that before with one of the brothers in the relationship. He was all head over heels. He was gone. He was in there. But we saw and knew things that weren't okay. And we kept we didn't discourage him. We told him we would support him. We don't talk down on each other. We'll be like, if you love her or you like her that way, we'll respect it, but we going to be real. So at the end of the day, even though we didn't disrespect her, we told our brother, like, yo, what she doing or how she talking to you, how she treating you, we don't agree with that, bro. That ain't what's up. But we didn't disrespect him or his relationship, but we let him know, like, yo, That ain't how you be supposed to be treated. And at the end, when it ended, he came to and was like, yo, I'm glad y'all was there for me and, kept me on my toes because I was dealing with stuff that I shouldn't have been dealing with just because I had kind of got emotionally into it, but I shouldn't have been treated that way. You feel what I'm saying? And eventually they ended up not working anyway because she had a history of not just him, but all the dudes she dealt with in the past, she like talked to real bad and she gets physical. Like, and I be like, I know this is another show too we gotta talk about, bruh, like we gotta write this down. There's a lot of women out here that get mad, physically aggressive. Like they challenge that man to the point like they want to fight him or something. Why are you trying to fight your man or why are you so physical? But as soon as he react to your aggression, now the world makes him wrong. I don't agree with that either. Like there's a lot of relationships where, all right, it's women out there that'll slap they dude up like off break. They'll scratch him up, slap him up, call him out his names, be aggressive. But if the man react to that, now the world is looking at that man like he's so devilish and so wrong because he slapped her back one time. I don't agree with no man putting his hands on a woman, but what I do know is there are some women that are extremely aggressive and will attack a man and not expect him to ever touch her back. But as soon as he reacts to her aggression, he's wrong. I don't like that. There's a lot of men over the jail like that.
Lisa says she must be from East Baltimore. Shut up, Lisa. You know, women on the east side keep their hands to themselves. So, I think that when you're sharing and dependent on your family and friends for relationship advice, a lot of times it's going to be one-sided because they're going to be fueled off of your emotions.
That could be true.
They want to see what's best for you. So if you're mad, they're mad. You may get some friends who are able to be neutral and give you an opinion.
And that's me.
But a lot of times when you love somebody, that's your friend, you're going to ride or die.
Right.
That's just what's going to happen.
Right.
So your emotional investment is into them.
Very true.
So if you don't have an equal investment to their partner, you're less inclined to be supportive and be neutral in a situation. That's what I'm going to say. So, and I'm not saying that you can tell every friend or family member your business anyway, because a lot of times people wait for opportunities
to use that, right?
To use that against you, use it to get what you have. I mean, so there's a lot of different factors that go into that.
That's why I think it works good in a good relationship.
Yeah.
Like a bad relationship, I don't know. Again, that's why I say it's 50-50. Because if you're in a bad relationship, I think your peoples around you can help you get through it and get out of it. Unless you just one of them stubborn people that no matter what nobody say to you, you still will be in it. Like Dirk said, like when you in love, you kind of don't want to hear what nobody got to say.
Right.
But that's not always true for some people. Like statistics show like bad relationships, having people around you that love you and support you, help you get through that. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you're going through a bad situation and you're just dealing with it by yourself, you could be in that joint 5 or 10 years way longer than you should have been if you by yourself. I had spoke to a woman and she was in an extremely abusive relationship. My question to her, I said, what kept you in there so long? She said, because I was alone in it. I was by myself and I was in another state. I didn't have none of my family and friends. It was all his family and friends, so I was isolated. I didn't have nobody to talk to. I didn't have nobody to help me through it, so I got stuck.
Like a number one sign of domestic violence. When he isolates you and you don't have anybody except his people, that's something that you definitely look at and pay attention to. That's one of the key things. And even if your family is nearby, when he's saying, oh, you can't talk to your family members or, this is just us and he doesn't allow you to talk to, that's one of the key ways that they control you and manipulate you in domestic violence situations. So, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for all of y'all wonderful comments, especially the people who are always here as we facilitate this juicy noise on Monday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Next week, we're going to talk about women who stay in relationships with men who don't take care of their kids, because I think that's a really big one. And I think that's a good way to keep carrying on this conversation. So we got a little bit of time. So,
9 o'clock.
huh? No, you can't. We only got 4 minutes. And you know you got to do your statement. So I think we are going to carry that on, especially, thank you, Ms. Young, especially, that is important because if he's not taking care of his children, that's really speaking volumes. And like Wesley said, if you're a woman who accepts that, that speaks volumes as to who you are. So again, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Wesley, tell us, give us some encouraging words.
Already. So y'all know when I speak from the heart. I would like to tell people out in the world, if you are not where you want to be at right now, if you're not in a place that you feel comfortable, that you feel happy, that you feel successful, those things can get better, those things can change, but you have to put the work in, and you got to get to the point where you realize that you deserve better, you want better, and that's something that you want to do. Don't worry about what society says. Don't worry about what your friends and family is always pulling you to do. Happiness comes from within. You have to know what makes you happy. You have to know what makes you go. You have to know what drives your spirit and your soul. Find that. A lot of people go into the ground and never know what makes them happy and what drives their soul. Search for the things that actually make you happy that you can tap into. And once you find that, really develop it. Really put your time and energy into that. And then now you will find some peace in life. So I want to leave you with this encouragement. If you want to do something that you've never done before, get out and do it. Stop being boxed in, stop being closed off. If you want to experience new foods, if you want to travel to a new state, if you want to see a different country, if you want to go back to school, if you want a new job, if you want to buy a new house, don't live in fear, actually go get it. But before you get it, plan it out. So I want to give you the encouragement to actually live your life how you deserve and want to live it. So that's how I'm going to leave y'all today. Peace and blessings. Hope everybody get home safe. Those who aren't home and those who are home, I hope you are in a happy space and continue to live in a happy life and a happy time, because we only live once, from the understanding I have. Good night, people.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all. See y'all next week.
That was good. That's a real good show, Sean. Wait for them, Greg. He like for 9:30.